Dealing with the mental illnesses and mental health. So, first of all, we have to define the mental health in detail. According to the WHO criteria, it is a subjective or a perceived well being of the mental status of a person, the abilities of a person, how he perceives himself intellectually and physically, and how he performs in the society for the well being of the society and the well being of the community. If he's doing all of this, and if he or she is coping up with the stresses of life in a normal way, it is defined that the person is mentally healthy or he doesn't have a mental illness. So it's not merely the absence of mental illness that we are regarding over here, it's the productivity of an individual as well. The emotional stresses, how he take them and how he respond to them, it's again very important. Stresses are of life, they're always there. But how one copes with these stresses of life is important. And this is how we define that the person is in a mentally harmonious state or he doesn't have a mental illness at all. So that is how we define the mental health over here. And this is basically the WHO, World Health Organization, how they have defined the mental illness. That is what is more important over here. Defining mental health, why is it important to define mental health? Because there are a lot of stigmas and there are a lot of taboos that are associated to mental health issue. For example, even if they're ranging from just the slight disorders such as the anxiety disorders or the mood instabilities, and they can range to a variance such as the schizophrenia, split personality disorders, and the manic disorders or the bipolar disorders, in which the person goes in mania and then he goes in depressive episodes. So there are basically two extremes to his or her personality. So even ranging from these slight depressive episodes to these high variants, the stigma or the taboo is still associated with these mental illnesses. And then, of course, the child mental health. So everybody is concerned about their child, whether he's an infant or whether he is a toddler or whether he is in the adolescent phase of his or her life. Whether he is achieving the milestones accordingly to his age group, it's very important. Although one child differs from the other child in a lot of ways, but still this variation has its capacities and it should not basically intrude these capacities. This is very important over here. So defining this child mental health is again important. What is a normal state when we are talking about the mental health of an individual? What is the normal state that we define that someone is normal mentally or psychologically, or if he is behaving in an abnormal way? And if he is behaving in an abnormal way or in a variant way, if this variant way or this abnormality is going to affect his or her daily life or the life of the people that surround him in the community, in the family, it's again very important. One thing that I'd like to stress upon is that the families are the basic people, the family that is supporting that person who has that mental issue is again the people who are primarily suffering, because it's not only the person who is suffering from the mental illness, it's the family who's supporting that person. The support system is very important. It can be in any culture, it can be the West, it can be the East. So the culture or the family that is supporting the person having the mental illness are the real sufferers. So they should have the core knowledge to these mental illnesses and how to deal with these mental illnesses, how to deal with these stigmas and the taboos associated with these mental illnesses. So coming to the definition of mental health, that is basically the crux of this section. We're going to define the mental health and define the child mental health in what are the different definitions that are given to this mental health that will be discussed over here in this. section. So one very comprehensive definition that is usually given, but it is basically the definition of health. Not only the mental health, it is the definition of even the physical health is defined by WHO in this way. It is a state of physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease. So over here, I would like to stress upon the fact that there are basically 3 dimensions highlighted over here in this definition. One is the physical aspect, then one should be mentally well as well, and thirdly and finally, one should be in a social harmony with the people surrounding him. That is what I was focusing upon previously, that it is the social harmony with the community and the people in the community that is again very important. Now, one aspect is missing in this definition, and that is basically the spiritual well-being of the person as well. So in a lot of definitions, another aspect has been basically added upon to this physical, mental, and social well-being, and that is the spiritual well-being of a person. So a person should be in a complete harmony physically, and he should be in a complete state of well-being mentally. He should be sound, and he should not have any conflicts in his or her mind. So that is the definition of health. So physical is important, but mental is the second most important aspect. When WHO has defined health, they have emphasized on the mental harmony and the mental well-being of the person. So the social well-being is again important. The person should have the productivity towards the community. He should know what are his or her duties towards the people around him, and he should be responsible enough to be productive emotionally and as well as physically, working towards the community's welfare. So these are the important aspects of the definition of health. And that, of course, includes the mental health. So one can never ignore the mental health and the mental harmony or the mental well-being to be there whenever we're talking about a healthy individual. And the spiritual well-being, of course, one should be at a harmony at the beliefs he or she has spiritually. So it's again very important for being in a state of healthy position, productive position. One should be in this complete harmony with oneself. So this is how we define mental health. Now there is another definition that is given by WHO, and which basically is emphasizing on the mental well-being, that defines a state of well-being in which every individual realizes his or her own potential, can cope with the normal stresses of life, can work productively and fruitfully, and is able to make a contribution to his or her community. So these are the different aspects that we've already emphasized upon, that if a person is in a complete harmony mentally, all of these characteristics should be present in him or her. So there are a lot of stigmas associated with this. A person can be in an anxious state, person can have phobias, stresses, he can have the panic disorders, depressive episodes, and the post-traumatic stress disorders as well are a part of this mental health. Now, talking about the mentally healthy child, it's basically to develop emotionally, creatively, intellectually, and spiritually. So these are the aspects that we're discussing over here. Healthy child should have all the aspects of health associated to him or her. He should initiate, develop, and sustain the mutually satisfying personal relationships. So the interrelationships within the community are again very important over here, and he or she must have them. The child should know how to face the problems. If he is mentally healthy, he should know how to resolve them, and he should learn from them as well. So this is the definition of a mentally healthy child, how we define a mentally healthy child. That is very important clinically as well. So in this section, basically, we focused upon the different definitions that are revolving around us whenever we are practicing as a clinician. So it's very important. That is the end to this section. Thank you for watching sqadia.com.